It looks like gonna rain, but nice weather. Listen to this message. Many of us grew up hearing pay your tithe, but very few people were taught that Bible talks about more than one tithe. In the Bible times, people did not merely give money as tithe. They gave grain, fruit, oil, sheep, goat, and cattle. Money was only used when traveling with those things was too difficult. As Deuteronomy 14:24-25 says, and if the way is too long for you, then you shall turn it into money and bind up the money in your hand and go to the place that the Lord your God chooses. This shows that money was not the original tithe. It was only a substitute when necessary. Today, many churches receive money because most people are no longer farmers. People earn wages, salaries, and businesses income rather than crops and livestock. Money is the modern equivalent of a person's increase or earnings. The main purpose of the tithe was not money. It was God. It was about remembering God, honoring Him, and helping others. But here is the question. What if the Bible teaches 4 different types of tithe and most people have only heard about one? Let's look at the 4 biblical tithes, especially my number 2, the one many pastors never talk about. Number 1, the Levitical tithe. Who are you feeding? Numbers 18:21 says, I have given the children of Levi all the 10th in Israel for an inheritance. The first tithe supported the people who spent their lives serving God and helping others to know Him. The Bible calls them Levite. The Levite received no land. Think about that. Every other tribe received land. Judah received land, Benjamin received land, Ephraim received land, but Levi received no land. God said, I am your inheritance. While others worked farms, the Levite worked in God's house. While others looked after crops, the Levite looked after worship. While others built wealth, the Levite taught people about God. So the tithe supported them. Now here is the uncomfortable question. Today, what are you feeding? Many people feed their entertainment, feed their desires, feed their appearance, feed their addictions, but starve the spiritual life. Some people spend more time on their phones in one day than they spent with God in 1 week. The Levitical tithe teaches a simple truth. Whatever you refuse to feed will eventually die. If you stop feeding your spiritual life, don't be surprised when your spiritual life becomes weak. Number 2, the festival tithe. This is where many men of God don't talk about it. Many have never heard that one of the tithe in the Bible. In the Bible was actually eaten by the worshippers and the family in the presence of God. Deuteronomy chapter 12:22-23. Thou shalt truly tithe all the increase of thy seed, and the field bringeth forth year by year, and thou shalt eat before the Lord thy God in the place He has chosen to place His name there. So read that carefully. God did not say give it all away. God said, thou shalt eat before the Lord thy God. The people would bring their tithe to the place God chose for His name. They would gather with their families, they would eat, they would celebrate, they would rejoice, they would remember God. This was not ordinary eating. This was worship. This was thanksgiving. This was remembrance. The purpose was simple. God did not want His people to remember Him only when they were suffering. He wanted them to remember Him when they were blessed. Many people know how to pray during trouble. Many know how to cry during hardship. Many know how to seek God when they need a miracle. But God was teaching his people something deeper. Learn how to celebrate me when miracle arrives. Learn how to thank me when the harvest comes. Learn how to remember me when life is good. That is why the Bible says, thou mayest learn to fear the Lord thy God always. Deuteronomy 14:23. Notice the word always, not only in pain, not only in need, not only in crisis, always. So the festival tithe reminds us of a truth many people forget. Do not only call on God when you are crying, sit before him when you are smiling too. And this is where men of God don't preach in church about tithe. Number 3, the third year tithe. Deuteronomy chapter 19 verse 29. The stranger and the fatherless and the widow shall come and shall eat and be satisfied. This is the tithe many people never talk about as well. God looked at the widow, the orphan, the stranger, the forgotten people, and he said, they must eat too. Notice something powerful. God did not say, feel sorry for them. God created a system because compassion without action changes nothing. Now bring this into today's world. Who benefit from your success? Who is eating because you are blessed? Who is surviving because God helped you? Some people want bigger blessings, but the truth is they only want bigger blessings for themselves. God's blessings were never meant to stop with us. A river stays fresh because it flows. A pond becomes dirty because it keeps everything. The third year tithe asks a hard question. Who is better because God has blessed you? Number 4, the tithe of the tithe. Nobody's above accountability. Numbers chapter 18 verse 26. Ye shall offer up a 10th part of the tithe. This may be the most shocking tithe of all. Many people know that people of Israel gave a tithe, but many do not know that the Levites, the men of God, the pastors also must tithe. And the very people receiving the tithe had to give a tithe from what they received. The workers gave, the ministers gave, the leaders gave, everybody gave. Nobody was exempted. Why? Because God never allows anybody to become bigger than his principles. A position does not remove accountability. A title does not remove accountability. Leadership does not remove accountability. The same God who watches the giver also watches the receiver. The same God who speaks to the member also speaks to the leader. The same God who corrects the crowd also corrects the person standing behind the pulpit. Nobody gets a special pass. Nobody become the owner of God's blessings. Everyone remains a steward. How the system works. The people of Israel brought the Levitical tithes. The Levite received it. Then God told the Levite, do not stop there. You also must give. So the flow looked like this. The people supported those serving God through the Levitical tithe. The people and their families celebrated God's goodness through the festival tithe. The Levite, the stranger, the orphan, and the widow were cared for through the third year tithe. The Levite gave a tenth of what they received to the priest through the tithe of the tithe. And that is where the chain stopped. And all 4 are connected by one truth. Deuteronomy chapter 8 verse 18. Remember the Lord thy God. Remember God when you have little. Remember God when you have much. Remember God when you are struggling. Remember God when you are succeeding, because the greatest danger is not poverty. The greatest danger is forgetting the God who carried you when you had nothing. And maybe that is why God built tithing into Israel's life. Not because he needed their money, but because people quickly forget the hand that blessed them. The real question was never, can you give 10%? The real question was, after God blesses you, will you still remember him?